Good morning, everyone. I'm Vince Nancy, and this is the Gold Fix Morning Rundown. Very, very current event special broadcast to give today. Well, here's our homepage, first of all. We're going to talk about the two stories on the right, which are breaking news items as far as we're concerned. Gold-backed stablecoin treasury gets 1.1 billion in investment, and a China gold platform implodes in a $600 million Ponzi, plus the things we had promised you. So here are the two stories today that seem to stand in stark contrast to each other. They intersect at a critical point in time where the past and the future of gold meet. The first story involves a Ponzi scheme. The company selling gold it didn't actually have to Chinese investors. This is a classic case of fraud as old as the invention of money itself. Opportunists have always preyed on the naive and the greedy, and there are plenty of those out there right now. The second story is about the creation of a treasury firm, one that plans to use gold to issue a stablecoin and develop financial products for investors. These two stories appear to be occupying opposite ends of the spectrum. One represents old-fashioned physical fraud. The other represents modern abstraction, the financialization of gold through digital tokens, stablecoins, and decentralized finance. We're bringing you both of these stories as breaking, largely unheralded by anyone else, and will most certainly go ignored by your regularly scheduled programming, except to demoralize gold bugs. But we know better, and we want you to understand that this is really good stuff. Okay. Before we read those two stories, let's whip through the markets. 10-year yields are up. The dollar is unchanged after a nice day yesterday. S&P 500 is up again. The VIX is down a little bit. Gold is down $8, was down more. So it seems to be opening in China, weakening as China gets settled in. And then it begins to bounce a little bit coming into the US. Silver, which had been higher on the night while gold was negative, is now a little bit negative. Copper is up 4 cents. WTI is 68.35, down 13 cents. Natural gas is up a little bit, unchanged bid. Bitcoin 108 and change. Platinum and palladium still up. So last night it was white metals over gold. Platinum reasserting its dominance, at least in the short term. Gold, silver is essentially unchanged, and grains are all offered. Okay. The first story, this was sent out to Goldfix subscribers. A China gold platform implodes in a $600 million Ponzi-style collapse. A massive $600 million gold investment fraud has erupted in China, centered on Yangkun Holdings, a flashy Internet plus gold platform that promised double-digit returns. Promoted heavily online and through affiliated marketing, it now appears to have operated as a Ponzi scheme. Thousands of investors are left exposed as authorities shut down offices, freeze accounts, and launch criminal investigations. This collapse highlights the growing systemic risk in China's loosely regulated gold and fintech sectors. It may be loosely regulated, but it's harshly punished. You probably won't see the people involved in that ever again, at least not publicly. But there you have it. That's the news, right? So what's old is new. Pooled accounts, scams, internet pooled accounts, scams, crypto, gold, everyone does it. It's a combination of greed and opportunism. Second story, a gold-backed stablecoin treasury gets $1.1 billion in capital growth financing. BioSig Technologies and StreamX Exchange have secured up to $1.1 billion in growth financing to launch a gold-backed treasury strategy and expand tokenization of real-world assets. You'll see them use the acronym RWA. The deal includes $100 million in convertible debentures and a $1 billion equity line. Funds will be used to build physical gold reserves and issue blockchain-based tokens. This marks a major institutional step towards merging commodity markets with digital finance through StreamX's Solana-based platform. These two news stories in and of themselves are big. The first one is China is going to get some heat for its poor regulatory observation of its own growing, encouraged gold industry. And that's going to make domestic investors, the citizens of China, pull back from paper gold if it's not in your hand. So this will be a problem for China at the grassroots level. But China will make, I would assume, China will make a big deal of fixing it and punish whoever's involved accordingly. I would think if they do not do that, they're not really serious then about their own push towards gold. So they probably would. The second story is the intersection, the nexus of the financialization of real-world assets. I've talked about this many times, touched on it, depending on how ready people were to discuss it. Later this morning, we will be sending founders, GoldFix founders, a very special, already recorded this morning on the way to get coffee. First, raw take on, number one, what is happening. Number two, what it means for gold and gold price. And three, hopefully as an investor, how to prepare for it. The types of things to invest in, the types of things to look for, get ready for the tokenization scams down the line. But we're at the beginning of it. So we're at the beginning of a gold stablecoin bubble. We're at the beginning of a stablecoin bubble anyway. But the question is, do you want to own your physical gold and hold it and throw a little bit of money into a stablecoin gold item that's positioned to grow because of its network? Or do you want to keep that portion of your investment portfolio into ETFs? We're going to go through all that. And this is the future. The future may be shitty, but this is the future. And it will make gold go up. Let me just put it in simple terms. The gold in a stablecoin product is bullish for treasuries because the stablecoin can use treasuries as collateral. And it's bullish for gold because that's gold that banks won't be front running to sell. The sales are direct. The tokenization of the coin is like putting a QSIP on it. This token is the coin. It can't have double commitments. It can't be used more than one time. So it would cut down on fractional reserve gold banking. Of course, it's going to have abusive risk, but it's new, it's shiny, and it's going to make gold go up. And it's going to make other things go up. And it's why we all need to get involved and understand stablecoins. A week ago, less than a week ago, we broke down JP Morgan's most recent stablecoin analysis, which focuses on the industry, how it works, who's involved, and their report is very Hong Kong centric, which we found very interesting because Hong Kong is also building a vault, et cetera, et cetera. You don't have to think too hard to see how gold goes into a stable coin in a vault in Hong Kong and then gets sold worldwide. HSBC is also, the HSBC was very early on that as well, we noticed. Anyway, lots more coming up on this, and that's in addition to the news that we wanted to talk about. So that post, the JP Morgan post, is in premium. Goldman Sachs had put out a report late last week saying they were bearish platinum, but they were looking with a non-vindictive eye at silver for a change. And we view that as even more bullish for silver, especially since they themselves said Q3 could be a bullish time for silver, considering how the end of the second quarter was the highest in 12 years, I think, or further. I'm quoting them. I may be misquoting them, but anyway. Founders early look, momentum fading. That was about that's the HSBC report on gold's momentum fading. We shared that with founders as an early look. We're going to be writing on that. And then you can see the other stories we have there. Coming soon, we're going through what we did and what we didn't do with these new news stories. Student special report on student loan defaults today or tomorrow. Korea gold trading explodes. That's out. Buy silver, sell platinum, says Bullion Bank. We just talked about that. HSBC says gold momentum gone. We'll be sending that out today or tomorrow. And gold bulls we can all just close our eyes and ignore it. But we had to go through it. So now you get to see it as well. All right. Let's do a final market check. Nothing is jumping out at me for gold and silver. Just to reiterate, there we go. Make that a little bit bigger. Thank you to TradingView, who is an unofficial sponsor, as they have gifted me their pro product, which I was using anyway. Anyway, thank you to that. Thank you for that. The gold fixed range is exactly the way it's been for 2 months now. Think of the money in butterflies if you had done that. I did it, but I took it out too early. So there you have gold here. It's going nowhere. It should be lower as geopolitical rest increases. But the bill gets passed, and that gives us fiscal slop, and that makes gold look good. So even if gold should be lower, as HSBC and Citibank think, who's going to have the nerve to sell it right now? So there you have it. Gold's in a range. It's a big range, but it's a range. Silver is out of a range and establishing a new range. It was here all the while that gold was in its range. Silver was here, and now it's here. So it's a revaluation. Silver is resetting against gold. We think this is going to be massively bullish. We're long. We've stayed long. People have asked us, because we are short term. I trade very short term sometimes, and I let people know I'm buying it because of this, if this, that, then that, and then we're done with it. I'm either right or wrong. This one I put on at the end of the quarter on running into June 30th, and I doubled it on June 30th. But the position is not the kind of position I'm going to worry about $2 lower. So I'm going to hold on to this, looking for $38.80, $40, and then $43. Those are my levels. I wouldn't be nervous until we got below, say, 35.30. I have alarms set on various platforms to that. But I think could this be a structure that's going to take us back into here and fail? Of course. But it doesn't seem to be that way, given all the other things going on. All right. No one is selling silver anymore to keep gold down. And that's because somebody wants the silver. I'm Vince. Have a great day.